Hey guys, this is Matt from Creative, and today we're taking a look at the Ray-Ban Metas again. Now I'm just going to go over a few things that I've been learning and that I've been using. These are the glasses, this is the charging case, and I guess as of December 17th, I still haven't been able to get the new beta with the AI features, but from what I've heard, it's still kind of hit or miss, and that feature that everybody's asking about, the one where, okay, you're supposed to say, hey, blank, what am I looking at? That feature has not really been enabled yet. What I do recommend is if you are on Reddit, go to, I think it's called Ray-Ban Stories. Go to that little community and ask there, because this is probably the Ray-Ban Stories was the previous generation, the one that I've tried and it just wasn't too good, but they're still talking about the brand new version, the current version, and it's just like a lot of good discourse. Like if you have issues in any way, they seem to be a good group of people that's just like getting the proper information that you need. Anyway, let's go down. One of the things that I realized with my glasses, and it's something developed over time, was these glasses going into this case. Now, if you didn't know, on the bridge of the nose, right here, you see some metal contact points, if it wants to focus in on them, right there. And those contact points are supposed to fit right there. Do you see that black portion right by my finger? Maybe it doesn't want to do it. But that little black portion right there, they're supposed to sit right inside here, and they're supposed to start charging up. Now, this worked out exactly how I thought it would. You saw that I put this in there, that light didn't go on. I've been having issues with my glasses, and maybe this is something that you guys have been dealing with too, but it's not a straightforward push down. It's this, and then you have to angle it a little bit this way. And now you can see it's in there. Green means it's 100% charged, but it's activating. When I go like this, let's see if yep, it immediately cuts out. So this is not something that I had to deal with early on. I just remember putting this in the case, but I really don't know what the issue is. There doesn't seem to be any disruption on the contacts here, and looking into the case, it just has like these little push pins. Like there's nothing that I can see that's stopping it. It's just, it needs to be angled. If you're looking at it this way, it needs to be angled a little bit to the right. So please let me know if that's something that you've been dealing with too. What else is like these? It's really hard for me to find faults with this. I know that there is, of course, limited battery life because you're going for a pair of glasses that kind of aren't that much bigger than a traditional pair of glasses. Of course, they're going to be chunkier here, but they do a great job at really hiding that. But I'd say this is one of the biggest, problems that this thing has here, and that is the battery life. There's only so much that you can do with the space you have here, and I've been getting a lot of people saying that you can use these for about 4 hours, and they just kind of eventually die out. I mean, if you are just wearing them, and don't forget, you can always turn them off. There's a little button on the inside here. You can switch that off. Yeah, you can switch this little switch off whenever you want. People have said if you turn off Hey Meta, and that's it's listening always. If you want to turn that off, that's gonna about double your battery life. But I tried doing that, but I've realized a lot of the functions that I use with this, they kind of rely on it. If I'm biking and if I'm like, hey, blank, turn up the volume, or hey, what time is it, or hey, whatever. It is really good for just kind of controlling music, controlling like limited functions. It just does that. And without that, you'd be forced to kind of just, as usual, just tap this little area here. You tap, these are the music controls. The top here is the camera. It's just something that I feel like If you want that extra battery life, you can go for that here. But I've just worn these throughout the day. I sometimes have been leaving my case behind because I know I'm not going to be I'm not going to an event. I'm just using these casually because over the first month, like, of course, you're going to record everything with this, and it's your new toy, so you're going to be blowing the battery as much as you possibly can. I'll recharge it all the time. But for me, I've kind of settled into the comfort zone of listening to music on my way to and from work, recording things here or there, maybe about 5 clips in a day. And when I'm not expecting to really use this, or if I need to save the battery life, just really turning this off and just, that's it. I've really loved these glasses, and I really don't think I can live with that battery. I can get 24 hours, not 24 hours, but I can get a full usable day of, waking up, I'm not going to wear them in here, but when I'm about to go out, putting them on, using them throughout the day, and then when I get back, take them off, and I still have battery left. Again, once you get over like that honeymoon period and they become just a functional piece of tech, you'll realize that the battery life is more than enough for this. I think what my favorite thing to do is go out without headphones anymore. Like I used to have well, here's 2 levels of it. I go out with my AirPods Max. They're just big headphones. If you're going to an event somewhere, you can't really put them anywhere. You have to coat check them. You have to do something. Next level would be like those tiny little AirPods. And even then, I'm just like, that's just something else in my pocket. I want to be as minimal as possible. I don't like carrying bags with me if I don't really need to. And with this is all I have. And it is just so extremely useful that it's doing exactly what I need it to. And it's just making me feel like I can be functional with just these. Let's say I left my phone behind and I was just going out. I would still have my Apple Watch, which means I could still charge and buy things with Apple Pay. That's basically my wallet. But when I'm like, what if I am like, I want to listen to music? I'm just listening to music. And it's just that, I'm just good with that. What if I see something very interesting? Because me as a photographer, a videographer, I get very ADHD and I'm just like, oh, I really want to, I need a camera with me at all times so I can record these moments. I live in New York City. It's a very exciting city as it is, but when I see something beautiful, I really want to capture that moment. So I can do that in 2 ways, either with taking the video or capturing a photo. And the quality, again, if you haven't seen the previous videos, if you haven't seen other reviews, the quality is really good. What I recommend you do is check out my Instagram. This is not a plug for it, but go down to the stories. I make a lot of stories with these glasses here. And as an avid bike rider, they are my favorite camera. I always have a dash cam camera on my bike for safety purposes, but if it's something where it's something I want to be a little bit more like taking a video for my personal pleasure, I'm just like, okay, I'm taking that video, I'm panning with my head, I'm getting the angles, and it's just like there. And I've learned after having a month with these things, I've learned how to act as my head being the tripod, the ball mount. You can't be like whipping back and forth. It'll just make you nauseous and the viewer nauseous. So you just kind of learn how to like properly do this. And hey, if you're on the bike, you're gonna be like, hey, blank, take a video. And it'll take a video. It will do it for up to 60 seconds. And it's just exactly what I'm looking for. Now, unfortunately, the thing is, and I've learned this, I don't need glasses. Like for me, I don't really need glasses. I use these for when I'm biking because I have very sensitive eyes. They begin to tear up if it goes below like 50 degrees and I have the wind whipping in my face. I always have to do it. And that's just me. So I had my basic pair of glasses, then these, and now they're functional kind of protective devices. So they've worked out really well. But what I've seen is that the demand for these glasses is so high right now, it's really hard to find the exact pair, especially the pair that I have right now, which are the transitions lenses. And these are the ones I would really recommend to everybody. I did try the amber lenses, which is like a very, I would call it a light yellow with like the black glossy see-through frames. And I was just like, in this darkness, because I like to be in kind of, not in darkness, but I like point lighting, I don't like big bright lights and everything. I would say that those amber lenses were just a little bit too much. I had to squint and my eyes would just be unadjusted, and if I went out at night, I wouldn't be okay. With these, it's like you have basically almost clear lenses, and then when it gets sunny, you have a more functional pair of glasses. And again, even if you're just getting the basic sunglass Ray-Ban Metas, then you're kind of forced to only wear them on the outside. And then you put them away. That means you have to carry this with you, or at least clip them here. Maybe that's not something that you want to do. It just becomes like you have to force yourself to take it off, and I don't like being forced to take it off. I'd like to take it off when I feel comfortable in taking them off. So I would always go for the transitions lenses. They are very hard to find in regular glasses, but now let's talk about prescription glasses. I think you go to like Lens Crafters or Vision Works, and I'm doing this because my father loves these so much that he wanted to get these. Somebody's texting me. And also, that's another thing. I can hear the texts here. I don't even have my Apple Watch right now, but somebody has really been blowing up my phone right now. Of course, it's YouTube comments, okay? But I would say, without insurance, because he doesn't have optical insurance, I don't think even I have optical insurance. Maybe one day I will, but I don't think he's ever needed it. He was looking to get these frames, maybe the transition lenses, and these things start at $299. I don't know if you can hear that car alarm, but I can too. And then he would get the transitions, which would be, I think, base $380. And it's just such garbage. I really believe it's garbage. They're trying to charge him $1,100 for his prescription in transition lenses with whatever frames he wanted to get. And that was just such a disappointment because it's just, I understand how things work, but that is way overpriced on what they should be. Another place, Vision Works, was charging $700 for that package, a little bit more reasonable. I still think paying an arm and a leg for prescription lenses is not right, but I don't have to deal with that, so I really don't know and I can't comment on it. But unfortunately they were out of stock and they don't do pre-orders, so he couldn't get it for like his Christmas present, which is what my mom and I wanted to do for him, and it just didn't work out, and I'm really disappointed. So maybe after the holidays it'll be more readily available, but these have become, I believe, a hit. The first generation was just like, I remember, and you can probably, if you've seen the other videos, I tried it out, didn't really work. Oh, my TV just went off. They just really didn't work, but these ones have become exactly what I was looking for. This is exactly like the type of functional product that I've been looking for. Another tangent that I want to go on is, if you've seen this AI pin, that, look, this is my mic, it kind of clips here like the mic would, and they're like, oh, you can put your hand out and you can have like this like you can see what's happening, like you can take the message, you can take like see a map, and I was like, these things are garbage. Those are not functional products. Nobody wants a little clip on here if they don't need it. This is only here because it's a microphone, it's being functional as a microphone, but people don't want this AI thing. And also, AI functionality as its own little function is not really that usable. We have barely usable AI functions with Google's version of it or Apple's Siri. And that's kind of what it is. But if you have your own platform, and if it's not tied directly to ChatGPT, which I I've looked at the AI pen. I think the idea is not ready yet, and especially for how much they cost. Take a look at online how much they cost. It's just not functional. But this, if they can work on the AI functions in this, you don't have to have a stupid little pin on here. And I get it. Some people are not going to be into the glasses like this. Like maybe these are a little bit big for some people. These are the XL size as opposed to the L size. And the only reason I have this is because I have a big head and I kind of need this. It was pushing it a little bit too much on the sides. But I just have to say, these, as an AI functioning product, once that gets nailed down, because Meta has a lot of money behind those services, I think that these can be really good at being functional and being unobtrusive, because one of my favorite things about recording video is your eye is the viewfinder. You stay in the moment. And if you're talking to this as an AI functional product, you're staying in the moment. You're like, hey, blank, what am I looking at? And they'll be like, you're looking at a couch and a cat. I don't even know what it's going to do. You'll be more functional if you're like holding a piece of food, like a McDonald's cheeseburger or something like that. But when you can actually ask it really functional things, this will be the form factor that I think everybody will really like, because a lot of people need glasses anyway. Why not have your frames be smart frames? This is what I'm betting on. These are going to be the future. Ray-Ban, we're not sponsored right now, but I am fully in your guys' court right now. If you guys want to contact me, I'm going to contact you guys again too, because I think it'd be really interesting to work with you guys on this, because I see this as the future of AI technology, recording technology, because I can only imagine. Like, the one thing that really stops me from using this too much is the 60-second cap, and also I believe it's 2x3 more horizontal. I would like them to do, and I think they had this feature in the first pair, I'd like them to have a, TikTok, Instagram orientation one, and then I want a YouTube orientation, the 16:9. And I do want, and I know that would kill battery life, like that leaves less space for battery, that it just does. And I want that recording limit increased. Now, recording clip after clip after clip, you may have seen like the previous video that I did. I did about 15 clips and then put it in its case and started to transfer. Only then, and it was back to back to back to back, did I get my first heat warning. And ever since then, I have never gotten a heat warning at all. So what I really do believe they can do, maybe about 5 to 10 minutes as a maximum cap, and they can still, like, you're not going to feel hot. Even though it says there is a heat warning, I did not feel that the glasses were getting hot on my face. I never noticed that at all. So increase that to at least 5 minutes, if not 10 minutes. 15 I know is way too close to that kind of hot point, and I think these will be very functional. I didn't talk about the live streaming. I've tried it a few times and it didn't really work out, because I thought live streaming for up to 30 minutes would kind of overcome that recording limit. Unfortunately, unless you have a very strong signal, and I have 5G, and I'm in the city, so I can understand like a lot of signals being taken by a lot of people, the quality is just not going to be that great after the fact. It doesn't really save that well, but that's all you can do. Anyway, guys, I know this has been a long video, but if you have any comments or questions about this, put it in the comment section below. Don't forget, I'm on Instagram at M8B9. You can email me at creativenyc2023@gmail.com. Let's see, what is the thumbnail going to be? I need a shave. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. I never know what face to make at the end of these. It's always like if you didn't know how I get the thumbnails, I'm just like taking a screenshot of like me in the video, and usually it's me just like, or some stupid face, so I need to kind of like test myself and prep myself and get this right. All right, guys, see you next time.